In my previous video, I looked at the comparative under the theme of loneliness. The two texts I compared were Eclipsed and Brooklyn. In that video, I looked at the key moments of the theme of loneliness in both texts. In this video, I will now show what is similar and difference between Eclipsed and Brooklyn under the theme of loneliness. To get marks in this section of your exam, you need to use key phrases which I have highlighted here in red to show similarity and differences. Okay, so some comparisons, similarities and differences between the two texts. You can start off by telling your examiner the two texts I will compare are Eclipsed, you can write E for short, and Brooklyn, B for short, on the theme of loneliness. In both texts, lack of income leads to loneliness. In Eclipsed, many Irish girls who lost the support of their parents In Eclipsed, many Irish girls who lost the support of their partners and families when they became pregnant had no income. They were locked away in Magdalene homes where they suffered greatly from loneliness. This is similar to Brooklyn, as Eilish had to leave home and travel to America for financial reasons. This is a key scene showing the heartbreak of separation when we see all the young people on the ship waving goodbye to their loved ones left behind on the docklands. However, there is a contrast between Eclipsed and Brooklyn. In Eclipsed, the girls were locked in the laundry like a prison and were not allowed out, whereas in Brooklyn, even though the girls were lonely, they had freedom of movement and they had paid jobs. Okay, in both texts, photos of loved ones helped with loneliness. In Eclipsed, when Rosa, Bridget's daughter, visits the laundry at the end of the drama, she finds an old photograph of a baby. Written on that photograph is "My baby Rosa, my beautiful baby." However, Nellie Nora explains that the picture is just a photograph she found in an unwashed pocket. Bridget adopted that paper baby. She let on it was you. So great was Bridget's grief and loneliness for her baby that she pretended a picture she found was of her own baby. This is terribly sad. This is similar to Eilish in Brooklyn, lying awake in bed in New York, looking at the photographs of her family by her bedside and feeling desperately lonely. In both texts, the girls find ways of dealing with loneliness. All the girls in the laundry try to cope with their own loneliness in various ways. They dress the mannequin up as the bishop and playfully mock him. The girls try their best to celebrate Cathy's birthday at their tea break by giving her little gifts. Mandy suggests they pretend they are in Paris and are having a huge party for Cathy. Mandy tells her to close her eyes and pretend. "It'll be true if you pretend," she marks. This is how Mandy copes. She pretends things are true. This situation is similar to the situation in Brooklyn, where the girls in the boarding house also cope with loneliness in various ways. They sit around the table at mealtimes and chatter and gossip. The girls go to dances and have boyfriends. This is different from Eclipsed because Mandy has to imagine that she has a boyfriend. In both texts, the girls want to find a husband to take away their loneliness. In Eclipsed, Mandy tries to cope with her loneliness by fantasizing about Elvis. She has convinced herself that Elvis loves her and will come to her and take her away from this dreadful Magdalene laundry. This time Elvis is coming for sure. This is like Brooklyn, as the girls in the boarding house all attend the Irish Saturday night dance to meet fellas. They hope to find a steady boyfriend and possibly a future husband there. Also, Eilish asks Sheila, who lives in the same boarding house, why she is not married. Sheila tells her that she is not married because my husband met someone else and left me. Would you get married again? That's why I go to that wretched dance every week, she replies. However, there is a difference between Eclipsed and Brooklyn, because the girls in Eclipsed had no chance of ever finding a husband, whereas in Brooklyn they had many opportunities to meet a husband at a dance. In both texts, letters help with loneliness. In Eclipsed, Mother Victoria arrives in the laundry with letters for the girls. They are excited, but she tells Sister Virginia not to give out the letters until tea break. Kathy gets a birthday card from her twins. This is similar to Brooklyn, as Eilish is so excited to hear that there is a letter for her. Mrs. Kehoe tells her that they will still be there after dinner and makes her wait until then. After receiving the letters from home, Eilish becomes very lonely and homesick. She cries over the letters and is noticeably sad at work. In both texts, loneliness affects people's mental health. In Eclipsed, we learn that Mandy was admitted to the local mental institution in 1963 and has never left that place since. We also learned that Bridget disappeared. Not a word, not a trace of her since. Nellie Nora remained in the home, becoming institutionalized and afraid of the outside world. Everybody suffered. This is like in Brooklyn, where Eilish experiences loneliness when she first arrived in New York. Tony has to endure loneliness and anxiety as he waits in Brooklyn for his wife Eilish to return to him from Ireland. Eilish's mother is left alone when Eilish returns to Brooklyn at the end of the film. Jim Farrell is also left alone after Eilish returns to America. We see him reading her letter as he stands in his empty house alone. This answer comes with a warning. Do not try to memorize this answer. You do not need to use all these key moments in your answer. Read the question carefully. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you would like to watch more videos to help you pass your Leaving Cert English course.